This is Radio Nepal. I'm Kaushal Khimere with the news. The headlines first. 52 candidates file nomination papers for National Assembly election. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda directs Finance Ministry to come up with concrete proposal to address problems of financial cooperatives victims. JN1 variant of COVID-19 detected in Nepal. And U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Middle East to stop the Gaza war from escalating into a regional conflict. Now the news in detail. A total of 52 candidates have filed their nomination papers for the 19 National Assembly seat elections scheduled to be held on the 25th of January. The nominations were filed yesterday for various categories in the respective election offices of the 7 provinces. According to the Election Commission, the 52 candidates who filed their nominations in the 7 provinces yesterday include 17 under women's category, 6 under Dalit category, 8 under persons with disabilities or minority communities, and 21 under other groups. Spokesperson of the Commission, Saligram Sharma Paudil, shared that the nomination papers of the candidates were registered at the office of the election officer, established in all 7 provinces from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. yesterday. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has directed the Finance Ministry to come up with proposal for a systematic solution to the problems of the financial cooperatives victims. In a discussion held yesterday at the office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, the Prime Minister directed the ministry to seek a solution to address the problems seen in the cooperative sector. On the occasion, Finance Minister Dr. Prakash Sharan Mahat expressed the view that the Nepal Rashtra Bank should regulate cooperatives above a certain ceiling. Earlier, Prime Minister Dahal held a discussion with the Finance Ministry and the National Planning Commission to transform the traditional framework of the government's policies, programs and budgets. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has called upon concerned authorities to seek the middle way for finding solution to the ongoing disputes concerning trunk and dedicated electricity line tariffs. During a discussion held yesterday at the office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers, the Prime Minister stressed the need for creating a situation where the Nepal Electricity Authority could recover its dues and industries could resume operations promptly. He suggested considering the directives of the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority and various committees under the Federal Parliament while exploring for sorting out the matter. During the meeting, Energy Minister Sakti Bahadur Basnet assured that the government was actively working to resolve the issues based on available facts and existing laws. Similarly, Industry Minister Ramesh Rijal appealed to government to facilitate finding solutions to the genuine concerns of the industrialist. Chairperson of the CPN Maoist Centre and Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has stressed the need for monitoring the intervention made by people in the policy-making process. Addressing the concluding ceremony of CPN Maoist Centre's special transformation campaign yesterday, Prime Minister Dahal said the traditional format of policies, programs and budget needed to be changed. He claimed that the new procedure of bringing the government's policies, programs and budget was necessary to ensure development and transformation of the nation. A new variant of coronavirus, JN1, has been detected in Nepal. Spokesperson of the Ministry of Health and Population, Dr. Prakash Burathoki, informed that the new variant of coronavirus was confirmed for the first time in Nepal during gene sequencing. During gene sequencing of 16 antigen-positive samples at the National Public Health Laboratory, the new variant of the coronavirus was confirmed in 7 samples in Nepal. The Health Ministry has urged all to adopt precautionary measures to stem the spread of the new variant of the COVID-19. Communication and Information Technology Minister Rekha Sharma says the state-owned media should serve as a means of establishing a vital link between the state and the people. In an event organized to mark the launch of the National News Agency's news service in the Awadhi language, Minister Sharma stated that the government-owned media should inform the people about the challenges and needs of people while at the same time making citizens aware of the positive initiatives undertaken by the government. The Communication Minister announced that incorporating the Awadhi language into the National News Agency's bulletin was in the spirit of federalism and inclusion enshrined in the Constitution. The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development has said that the country produced 5.2 million metric tons of paddy this year. Compared to the last financial year, paddy production has increased by 4.33% in the current year, according to a statement issued by the ministry yesterday. Furthermore, paddy production this year has increased by 5.08% compared to the average production of the last 4 years. However, the area of paddy cultivation has slightly decreased, even though total output increased. According to the ministry, the total area with paddy plantation has decreased by 0.61%, that is 8,800 hectares compared to the last year, to come down to 1.43 million hectares. This is less by 1.73% compared to the average area of the last 4 years. However, the productivity has increased. The increase in rice production in the current fiscal year has been attributed to the availability of use of developed seeds, the reduction in the impact of disease and pest infestation, the improvement in the availability of fertilizers, the use of agricultural tools and technology, and seasonal adaptation. You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. On to some international updates now. Of all the priorities for the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on his 4th visit to the Middle East in 3 months, there is one message above all others that he wants to deliver. His main mission on this trip is to ensure the Israel-Gaza war does not spread into a regional conflict. As he flies between destinations in Southwest Asia, a packed schedule that includes stops in Turkey, Jordan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. There is ample evidence, however, that the cauldron of tensions in the region is on the verge of boiling over. Houthi rebels in Yemen have launched repeated missile and drone attacks on civilian shipping in the Red Sea, bringing traffic through that key international waterway to a near halt. The U.S. has warned that it will defend its interest if the rebels persist and disruption to the global commerce continues. An American military response may be inevitable, a development that would unnerve some key American Arab allies. German legend Frank Beckenbauer, widely regarded as one of the football's greatest players, has died aged 78. He won the World Cup as captain of West Germany in 1974 and lifted the trophy again as manager in 1990. Beckenbauer, who was primarily a defender, played 582 times for Bayern Munich and won the German top flight as both a player and a manager. Nicknamed Der Kaiser as a player, he won the European Championship in 1972 as well as the prestigious Ballon d'Or twice. Now, the general weather forecast for the country for today, according to the Meteorological Forecasting Division. The weather will be partly cloudy in the hilly regions of the Kosi province and Gandaki province and mainly fair in the rest of the country. With this, we have almost come to the end of this news bulletin, but before wrapping up, the headlines once again. "52 candidates file nomination papers for National Assembly election. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda directs Finance Ministry to come up with concrete proposal to address problems of financial cooperatives victims. JN1 variant of COVID-19 detected in Nepal. And U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Middle East to stop the Gaza war from escalating into a regional conflict. Well, that's all the news we have for this bulletin. Our next bulletin in English will be at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us online at our website, www.onlineradionepal.gov.np. Keep listening to Radio Nepal and have a good day.